You must be the ones tasked by the Academia with renovating Aru?
That's right. Good afternoon. I'm Kaveh.
We've met before. This is Thoth, the Ibis King. And everyone knows these two.
I've only ever seen these two in murals.
Ah, the paintings in the temple. They show us chatting, playing cards, playing chess. Precisely the activities we most enjoy, funnily enough.
No, only you enjoy playing chess. We were just humoring you.
I wouldn't go that far.
Back to the matter at hand. A preliminary assessment by the Academia indicates that this project requires expertise in various disciplines, including the deciphering of ancient texts, mechanical engineering, the restoration of ancient ruins, and elemental theory. The most capable minds in their respective fields here before you. If there are no objections, we'd like to begin our work.
The artisans who built Aru for Al-Ahmar gave their very lives to create this splendid work. Follow their example by giving your utmost devotion to this project.
I didn't know that. We'll do our best, of course, but we certainly won't be sacrificing our lives.
Such brazen words. Humans these days are a far cry from their ancestors. What little respect you show for King Deshret.
No, that's not what he meant. Please, don't mind him. He shares your sentiments, just not your, penchant for hyperbole. Assuming...
I just think it's important to manage expectations.
Forgive my lack of courtesy, but we simply can't sacrifice our lives to the gods on completion of the project like people in the legends of old. Here's a first draft of the project proposal for your perusal. Please let us know if you have any Normally, I'd have made it look a lot more visually appealing, but we were really pressed for time on this occasion. I hope you'll forgive me if it's a little rough around the edges.
Naturally, naturally.
If my fellow ministers deem this...
Why are you so preoccupied with the ostentatious displays of respect to Al-Ahmar? We should be trying to make things easy for them. You never know. We might have to rely on these young people to look after us in our old age.
Exactly.
This is Aru's mainframe. Be reminded to use it with...
We certainly will. Thank you for your assistance.
You may attempt to lay out punishments should you so desire, though I'm afraid it would be futile. You and I both know that certain components of Aru can only be operated...
King Deshret always believed in humanity. Still, the reason that Aru's modules are designed that way is not so much because he trusted them, but more because he was wary of...
Is that true? No wonder human artisans helped to build Aru then. He actually required human assistance to create his greatest work.
Naturally.
Have you noticed that the Goat King keeps giving superficial responses? It's like he's just going through the motions and leaving the real debate to his colleagues.
He understands the art of perfunctory speech. That's what earned him his position as the Minister of Ministers. It seems the rumors about King Deshret being a poor judge of character are baseless after all.
Excuse me for being blunt, but it sounds suspiciously like you're putting yourself on a pedestal and mocking me.
You're mistaken. And while there's nothing strictly wrong with making every conversation about yourself, it's not exactly a positive tendency either.
You? Whatever. I knew it'd be like this working with you. All right, let me past. I need to look at this console.
It's your job to activate it after all. Let's begin. Everyone, please proceed with the external checks and preparations as per the procedures outlined in the engineering plan.
Hello there, youngsters.
Whoa, the Ibis King came to life.
What do you mean, came to life? I've been alive the whole time.
You did say we could start our research, right? Are you having second thoughts now?
I've reviewed the proposal. The work you're planning to carry out on this grand device is ambitious in its scope. You have ample confidence in your abilities, I take it?
I wouldn't say I'm feeling hugely confident, but given...
You are the top scholars of your day. I trust you are aware that there are countless links between Aru and the Akasha?
Aru and the Akasha? I thought the Akasha was the Academia's greatest technological accomplishment, created years ago by the Dendro Archon to help her people access knowledge.
And you too? Do you not know either?
You've read the instruction manual, right? You tell them.
An instruction manual? The Akasha has an instruction manual? The Dendro Archon is a kind and thoughtful god indeed.
It used to sit on a shelf in the corner at the House of Dana. Not the most popular. If the manual is to be believed, Aru was in fact the original inspiration for the Akasha system.
What? But there are so few records about Aru anywhere. And practically none of these scientific expeditions into the desert had anything to do with it.
Ah, but this is something you could not possibly have known. You may have heard many stories about the desert, but what is the most important aspect of history? Consider this a quiz. Anyone from Vahumana present?
I'm from Vahumana. It's, well, veracity.
Precisely. And a large part of veracity is the chronological order in which events occur. I may as well tell you. In the beginning, Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers, descended upon Sumeru. The glory of the heaven was within her. She brought life, oases, and knowledge to this land. Then she created the Jinn, enlightened them, and ordered them to serve her. Two other gods also walked upon this land where wisdom flowed in abundance, and the three met beneath the great green trees. It was the first and greatest alliance. We should speak with reverence of this covenant between the three, which transcended both time and life. For they promised that in Sumeru, wisdom would be shared with all. All the great changes in Sumeru's history began with the goddess of flowers. For King Deshret's sake, she pried into the secrets of Celestia, and for this was burned to ashes by the flames of wrath. So grieved was King Deshret by her passing that he lost all interest in state affairs and devoted himself instead to the knowledge that she had brought back. It was after learning of the technology from that floating island in the sky that he first conceived of Aru. And so, the Akasha was inspired by Aru, while the basis for Aru itself came from Celestia's technology.
Well, if the two share a common technological origin, then connecting one system to the other is an entirely feasible idea.
Unbelievable. Have you no reverence at all for celestial technology?
No, I do, but there's no time for that. The schedule is too tight. Blame it on the deadline.
Perhaps you could try coming up with our cutoff dates.
You know what it's like having to turn around 5 different drafts in one day? I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Yeah, also, Sir Ibis King, you don't plan on getting directly involved at all, do you?
Yes, well, you strike us more as having come to give a popular science lecture. Or, wait, does this count as more of a first-hand witness statement?
Neither. Anyway, this sounds like far too much work for me.
Still, if Aru is so powerful, why didn't King Deshret use it for more ambitious...
Because it was never fully completed. King Deshret had grand plans, but he perished before they could come to fruition. In the beginning, his wish was to create something that could rival the very world itself. The Lord of Flowers sacrificed everything for that ambition. What he desired, she bestowed, and thus was knowledge brought into the world. Her courage and sacrifice had to be honored with the most splendid of monuments, or King Deshret would surely have deemed it a grave injustice. And that monument, built from knowledge and technology, etched with a sacrificial and courageous love, even in its unfinished form, it deserves to be treasured. At that time, King Deshret said the following to the Lord of Dendro: "Since we share an eternal covenant, I shall never be your enemy. Hence, the fruits of wisdom from the heavens is not to be devoured. Remember, it is not that I lack the power to become the enemy of wisdom. Yet you and she have taught me much and shown me kindness. For this, I cherish you. In the end, Aru was only used to store a portion of the souls. It was but a primitive form of the masterwork the king had envisaged. His final hope for Aru was to return to the past, when she yet lived."
So the point you're making is, King Deshret was both powerful and ambitious, and he only ceased his imperious ways out of affection for the goddess of flowers and the You could see this as an act of mercy, but you could also see it as the sentiments that lay between these three gods placing constraints on him. This was, after all, the foundation of the alliance between them.
This explains why Aru was both a prison and a monument, and why the answer to the three questions was time.
You have to be careful who you get involved with, or you invite all manner of misfortune. This is as true for gods as it is for humans. Love is the same. It is both a prison and a monument. All right, let us pause the story here for now. Seeing as you've been so diligent, who's in charge again? Is it...
Ah, yes, me and him.
Now then, Claude... Wisdom hides in the space between the tangible and the intangible. It is to convey the incommunicable through the simplest of mediums. By the power of King Deshret, I shall grant you a glimpse into the unseen...
Where did this come from? Is it a new...
It looks more like some form of externalized information. You've rendered it visible?
Just as the Akasha allows you to access a greater range of knowledge, the power of our king permits one to perceive ingenuities that do... This is no ordinary mechanism. It reflects the internal structure of Aru. Whether you choose to increase or decrease, keep or discard. Come, you...
Looks mechanical to me. Better let me handle it, just in case.
Turn around.
So that's where the elevator is. Obelisks were used to record important information in the ancient desert civilization. Hey, Alhaitham, there's some writing here I'll need you to decipher. I've sent it to your screen.
Got it.
Take a look and tell me what it said.
Let's start with this one. Looks like cultural information from the age...
If so, I suggest...
Words thrown together.
Well, as long as you're certain that this is strictly private information, it's fine.
It is unimportant.
All right, well, I guess... Sight clear. Found some more. Sending them over to you.
These are all reports about the Gurubad conflict.
Can we delete them?
I'd say so. Most of this information has
What if there are details in there that Vahumana missed? What are we supposed to do if they come after us in the future?
They'll just have to live with it. If we don't resolve these issues now, there won't even be an academia in the future, let alone a Vahumana Darshan.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, done. There's some other similar monuments nearby. I'll check them out. Come at me! Scanning! Another monument.
Hold on.
You're still reading it?
It records the development and governance of the Oasis civilization. Most of it concerns the Jinn, but it also contains records left by the artisans who built Aru.
Is it important?
Some of it. There was no way for me to read the whole thing in its entirety, so I had to rely on my intuition to pick the parts worth keeping.
What about the artisans' records? What do they mention?
They're speculations, mostly. For instance, they were wondering how to protect themselves if King Deshret decided to silence them after the...
Sounds like pure mythology to me. Surely that kind of thing didn't really happen. Even that got recorded? Okay, well, I'll make a copy of this first before I delete it.
Is that truly necessary? You won't be needed?
No, no, the blueprints are important. I think that should just about do it.
It meets the requirements of the contingency plans, so we should be good.
I gotta say, it's the strangest feeling, this cross between reality and the intangible. It's like drifting between life and death, or in and out of a dream, using my own hands to manipulate illusions that are forever out of reach.
Chasing dreams in the most literal sense. Definitely a novel experience.
What happens if my spirit just floats?
That won't happen. Anyway, I wouldn't celebrate just yet if I were you. There's likely to be a phase 2 of this project.
All right. I'd better keep my wits about me then.
Traveler from afar, do you worry for the fate of Sumeru as well?
Whoa! It's so big the Crocodile King!
Greetings, Crocodile King.
Please be at ease. I'm just here to chat with you about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Sounds like you really care about her.
Yes, although to be exact, it is a mixture of both concern and curiosity that I feel.
Speaking of Nahida, Paimon was wondering how she's doing.
Wait a moment.
What is it?
I tried calling out to Apep, but there was no. This can only mean that she is focusing all her energy on taking care of Lesser Lord Kusanali.
All the gods who served King Deshret seemed super surprised to hear that Apep agreed to help Nahida. Guessing she made a bad impression on you or something.
Are you aware of the history between her and our king? Story begins a long time ago. Al-Ahmar was always a wishful thinker where the Dendro dragon was concerned. Without consulting her, he decided to list her among the 7 pillars, and declared his own power to be far superior to hers. That was when our king was at the height of his power. Ibis Goti and I were no match for him, and so we chose to submit and serve as his ministers. But not Apep. No. She never thought much. To Apep, Al-Ahmar's pride and sense of superiority were nothing but ignorance and hubris. In fact, they fought numerous times, but usually the battle ended in a draw. In the end, King Deshret coveted the power of Celestia, only to end up corrupted by knowledge. His final act was to trick the dragon into swallowing him whole, leaving her to bear the torment. The Dendro Dragon stands for the glory of a bygone era. She hated Al-Ahmar and what he represented. All the gods, all the power they wielded. And so, her willingness to help the Dendro Archon through this crisis comes as a great surprise indeed. It makes one wonder whether, perhaps, the Dendro Archon assisted her in the past.
Yep, Nahida did her a huge favor.
So Lesser Lord Kusanali put an end to the Dendro Dragon's many long years of torment. As much as she loathes the Seven, Apep knows kindness when she sees it. No wonder she was willing to make an exception.
Yeah, that's the sense we got from dealing with her, too.
She is not incapable of coexisting with other living things. Rather, she actively chooses to avoid coexistence. And this despite the fact that she symbolizes life itself. How ironic. All of this being said, I wouldn't expect too much from her if I were you. Nothing will change her hatred towards humanity and gods.
We'll keep that in mind. Anyway, how much longer do you think For all we know, the Fatui might still be in the desert. Just to be on the safe side, why don't we grab anyone who isn't busy right now and go look for her? I'm alright, Pi. Huh? Was that Nahida's voice?
It seems the treatment was effective.
Since when do my deeds require your evaluation?
Here will do just fine.
I had no intention of taking you any further. One ought not expect greater generosity than they have earned.
You always hide your kindness away like an oasis within a sandstorm. Only those who make it through the swirling winds can know just how beautiful that oasis is, and how much hope it brings.
You dare appraise my being?
No, I'm expressing my gratitude. I want to thank you for sharing your precious life force with me.
Awake already? You are more resilient than I thought.
Pep, I feel much better. Thank you.
Gods and their gratitude mean little to me. I would rather you give me your assurance that the situation with Irminsul and Sumero's ley lines will be competently managed. If I suffer any ill effects from the ley lines, you, as the god of this land, will be held responsible. And you would not enjoy being held to account by me.
I understand what you require. But I would assume this task even if you did not demand. Sumeru is my responsibility. I must resume my duties as soon as possible.
A farcical notion. God of Sumeru, I hope you realize how unextraordinary your strength is.
And yet, maybe it is precisely what defines me. A god of wisdom is not meant to rule by force.
Then hold steady. We go forth.
Well, I'll be. Is that a pep? Do my eyes deceive me? Of all places, the Dendro Dragon has decided to visit the mausoleum of King Deshret?
I see that after all this time, El Ahmar's menagerie of ministers remain as vile as ever.
It's a pleasure, Dendro Dragon. Had you arrived but a little sooner, you might have attended a meeting of the Seven Pillars.
What a nauseating thought. You are not the first insects I have had the displeasure of dealing with today. A swarm of them tugged on my tail on my way over. Goodness knows what hovels they crawled from. Why do all the creatures of this world remain so lowly after all this time?
What did you do with them?
I cast them away. What would you have me do? Keep them as trinkets? Booer, this is where we shall part ways. To be clear.
Then I wish you peace as you return to your dwelling place.
It matters not to me. Simply refrain from bothering me again.
A force to be reckoned with. At times like this, I feel glad that she has no interest.
Hold on, just hold on, okay? We're almost there. We made it! Huh? Wait, that voice! Uh-oh, I'm gonna fall! Well, that's a relief. A pair of safe hands indeed.
The Dendro Archon's familiars. They are the last thing I expected to see here.
Huh? Wait, what are the Aranara doing here? Don't you guys hate the desert? Obviously I was worried about the Dendro Archon. I've been supporting them with my Pari powers the whole way here. Oh, they seem pretty nervous. Is it because there are too many people around? Not just people. It's all these non-human beings, too. It's hard on them. I can't believe you made such a long and dangerous journey just for my sake. I appreciate your support so much. Thank you all. I'll have to ask everyone to wait while I help our new arrival settle in. Once I'm done, I'll gather everyone to discuss our next steps. Traveler, Paimon, shall we find a place for our friends to stay? Awesome! Let's go! Well, first I have some questions. Okay, I think that covers everything. Thank you. We can get going now. must be very tough for you coming all the way out here, especially since you don't like the Veluca. Is everyone back in Vanarana doing well? Everyone's here. Good. Are you okay? You look like you were about to pass out back there. Then you're forgetting who I am. Don't underestimate me. Red Fla- Oh, excuse me! Are you comparing me to Paimon? I suppose everyone is gathered here because of me. As we can see, the situation is critical, and everyone is very busy with their various tasks, so... I can't thank you enough. Right now, we're focused on restructuring Aru, processing excess information, and helping restore everyone's confidence. I'm sure you'll find it all very straightforward. I can help too! Just let me know where I'm needed. Up to no good? Traveler, Paimon. I have other work to attend to here that need... No problem? Thank you. I'm counting on you. There's one other thing. If you are to work alongside the people of Sumeru, you will need to make yourselves visible to them. There's nothing to fear. No one here will hurt you. But if you do feel afraid, don't worry. Just call my name and I'll be there. Very well. Now, I shall bestow a small blessing upon you all. Whenever people see you and interact with you, from the moment their gaze meets yours, they will experience the most beautiful of dreams. Do not fear. We will everyone's here. Wonderful.
Dendro Archon, you're back. Are you recovering all right? You mustn't push yourself too hard.
I'm doing very well. Thank you for your concern. I see. Using the power of Aru to reboot the Akasha and gain access to Irminsul. It's a sound plan. I regret to be the bearer of bad news, But with the state that Irminsul is currently in, it's impossible to access via traditional means. Even the Akasha won't change that.
Alas, we had feared this may be.
And what about non-traditional means?
Non-traditional?
Are you saying?
Desperate times call for new measures.
Hey, we're here!
Ah, it's you. Is there a situation? The Aranara have good intuition when it comes to people. In other words, there may well be a traitor among us.
Given everything that's going on, I'd be more surprised if there wasn't.
Miss Nefer, as a professional intelligence broker, I trust you have a solution?
Not one that I'm willing to volunteer. What's in it for me?
Let's say I'll treat this as a pilot project aimed at expanding your intelligence operations. Whatever business you're in, an avenue to demonstrate your abilities could never hurt.
I like the sound of that. Glad we're on the same page.
Given that you rarely set foot in Sumeru, practically no one at Caravan Rebot knows who you are.
I take it you've read the files on everyone in the area?
Yes. I also skimmed the list of evacuees, and am more or less up to date on where everyone stands.
Any initial suspect?
Limiting the scopes to males whose recent activity could be viewed as suspicious. I've identified 3 names. The Aranara saw 2 people talking, but currently we only have 1 suspect. The other person was probably just a messenger, and in all likelihood has already left Caravan Rebot.
Everyone is heading for the desert per the evacuation order. Anyone willing to turn back at this stage is almost certainly with the Fatu.
There's no way it was a spur-of-the-moment decision to act at a time like this. This spy must have been planted long ago. We need to smoke him out from wherever he's hiding.
Sounds like you have the beginnings of a plan. I see. Your suspicions are well-founded.
So far, we still lack solid evidence that he's been bribed. He hasn't made any recent purchases that would indicate he came into some...
Then let's get closer to him to confirm before we make our move. I can handle it. I'm not based in...
And you're certain you've never encountered this person in Nodcry?
I'm certain. Besides, it's extremely rare for me to have had any direct contact with Sumeru mercenary. Sino, stay out of sight and wait for my signal. If he raises any red flags...
Understood.
Excellent. Well, it's a pleasure working with you. Nothing unusual about how he drew a coin. Interesting. Could that be how his contact paid? Sorry to bother you. Has everyone...
Ma'am? What are you doing in Caravan Rebot all by yourself?
My friend and I lost some of our cargo along the way. I didn't want to miss out on potential business, so I told her to go on ahead and meet the client while I retraced our steps. I didn't think it would be so late by the time I found it. And then there was a terrible sandstorm. I guess I must have taken a wrong turn.
Forgive me for asking, but just to be on the safe side, could you describe this friend?
Sure. She has blonde hair, and she was wearing a hat and a white dress. You'd definitely know if you'd seen her.
Yes, I think that does ring a bell. My apologies. During this exceptional time, the Corps of 30 are under orders to be extra cautious when dealing with unknown people, whoever they might be.
I understand. Well, sir, is there anything else you need to know? If not, I'd better try and catch up with them.
Hey, wait! They left a good while ago now. You'll never catch up with them on your own. Why don't I give you a ride? I'm here to collect the last few people anyway. We have plenty of carts, so one more won't be a problem.
That would be amazing. Traveling with a group will be much safer. I'll have to pay you for your trouble.
Hey, let's not worry about the money for now. Wait here a moment. Once I'm done packing up, I'll take you to join the rest of the group.
All right, thanks. Let me know if you need a hand carrying anything.
No need for that. I'm strong enough for both of us.
Okay. Well, I wish there was some way I could repay you.
You're not wrong there. I mean, what kind of cargo is so important that it's worth risking your life to get back? I hope for your sake that it's priceless.
I suppose I can tell you, since you've been such a big help. But be sure to keep it to yourself, or we could both be in big trouble.
Oh, really? Sounds mysterious.
We're in the antiques business. You understand? Some of our goods aren't acquired through the most legitimate means. We have to be very discreet when we're selling them. That's why
No wonder. Well, ma'am, in that case, it turns out that maybe there is something you could do for me.
I'm all ears. But to be clear, our commission isn't cheap. Think carefully before you ask. We don't want to ruin our relationship before we even hit the road.
I'm sure that won't be a problem. My issue is, I have something that's a little difficult to sell on as well. Take a look at this.
Pure gold. That's quite something. How'd you come across it? Dig it out of some ancient tomb?
If you look hard enough, there are many treasures to be found in the mausoleum of King Deshret.
It has no distinct Snezhnayan markings. That'll be why he's going with that story. And he clearly doesn't want to arouse suspicion, so he's on the lookout for an opportunity to make a quiet trade. Surely you have an existing business partner. Won't they take it off your hands? I hope I won't be attracting the wrath of my competitors by helping you sell this.
The shop I used to work with is having cash flow issues at the moment after losing some money. I'm under enough pressure as it is without having to deal with them. On the off chance anything went wrong, I'd never get my money back.
I understand. Gold is the last thing that traders with cash flow problems want to see. Well, in that case, I think we can work something.
As it happens, I'm just about done packing. Shall we make a move?
Sure. Let's walk and talk.
This evacuation was a huge operation. They needed a few people. Tie up. And I ended up being.
Hands where I can see them.
General Mahamatra! No, wait! What?
This is the coin? Good. Sadly, you won't have the chance to spend it.
Nicely done. Looks like Sumeru's Matra.
Unmarked gold coins are quite difficult to trace. Thanks to you, we have secured the evidence. Here's what's gonna happen. Southeast from here, leeward side of the hill. That's where he's meeting his contact.
Great work. Candace tells me your interrogation skills are highly effective.
Hers are quickly catching up. She's improved a lot in recent years. Looks like it's over to you for the next step.
Because I'm quickest on my feet?
Because you know how to trail a target. Plus, it'll be easier to monitor their activity from the air.
Fine. I'll be quick.
One more thing. The Traveler just brought a message from the Dendro Archon. Once you're done with this, we're to meet up at the mausoleum of King...
Got it. Will do.
Are you sure you'll be okay and...
Gee, I don't know. Maybe you should come with me.
Okay. Then Paimon's coming with you.
Really? You do know this is a stealth operation, right? Meaning, you have to be quiet?
Paimon, are you...
Well, Paimon at least wants to give it a shot. Like everyone says, if you never try... Besides, being the best guide into that has to count for something. This should be a piece of cake.
Fine. Join me if you want. But be warned. If anything goes wrong, I'll have to gag you and shove you into a bush.
No need! Paimon will be super careful.
Good. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Coming! Coming!
Wall and fury. We're here. Now we wait.
Okay, yeah, cool.
What's on your mind,
Huh? Oh.
I thought all you cared about besides being a guide was food and sleep.
What's that supposed to mean? Paimon's been on plenty of...
But never on your own. You hardly ever leave.
Just
saying. I'm kind of at loose ends right now. So if you did want to share, I suppose I'd have to listen.
Hat guy? Do you...
What? Where's that?
When we were in Notcry, Paimon suddenly realized something. Even though Paimon's with the Traveler, Paimon doesn't get like this very often. She just got really scared when the Traveler got kidnapped that time. What if he never came back? What would Paimon do then? And the more Paimon thought about it, the more useless she felt. But Paimon doesn't want to be a burden. Paimon wants to be a friend who's actually useful. Does that make any sense? You know, that feeling of just being completely useless and... Oh, Paimon probably sounds so ridiculous right now.
You asked the right person.
Oh.
I'm not gonna try and encourage you. What I will say is this. When you start doubting yourself, you have two choices. Give up or change. You have to make the decision to move forward. Otherwise, no amount. So ask yourself, what do you want? To get stronger? To learn more? Whatever it is, go do it. You won't have any regrets if you can at least say that you tried. Something's not right. Shouldn't they? Paimon, is it just me? Or is it a little too quiet around here?
Should Paimon take a look?
We'll give it another hour. If nothing...
Okay. How strange. What is it? Did you think of something?
Something feels off about this whole situation. But I can't quite explain why. We know for sure that the guy Sinocot had something set up. Yet somehow his contact is a no-show. So, either the handler got...
But how would they know to do that? Wouldn't they at least send someone here to check things out?
That's the problem. They couldn't possibly know what's happening here. This feels all too...
though this isn't a formal meeting, I'd still like to start by saying how grateful I am to each and every—
Shesipank and Bennu are currently assisting the scholars with the maintenance of Aru. As for Hermanubis, may he rest in peace.
There have been times when I imagined what it might be like to meet you all. Now, time has taken many things away.
I must say, there is one. You appear to be in good spirits, Lesser Lord Kusanali. But even so, I can sense that the life force given to you by the Dendral Dragon has far from—
Oh no! So even a Pep's power didn't work? Don't worry, Paimon. It worked very well. The issue is how closely I'm tied to Irminsul. Until the problem with it is resolved, there is no way I can fully recover. Sumeru has undergone tremendous changes during her absence. When gods pass away, inevitably, people's faith in them grows weaker.
Regrettably, this is true.
I too have grown weaker due to the effects of Irminsul. Right now, we're all in quite a sorry state.
Then what do you suggest?
We take all the help we can get. Sumeru is our shared home. You and I, gods and humans alike.
Though Al-Ahmar is no longer with us, the alliance between the three gods remains in force. Not to mention that it was the people of Sumeru who released us from this prison of Aru. Times have changed, and the people of today possess greater wisdom than those of the past.
You really know how to give a rousing speech, Koti.
Now then, let us learn more about your plan.
The brightest minds of the Sumeru Academia are busy opening and renovating Aru. They claim it has something to do with Irminsul?
Correct. Irminsul has existed in Teyvat since the very beginning. But during the Age of the Dragons, it did not possess the significance it holds today. After the Heavenly Principles arrived, the power of the Light Realm was divided into elemental energy, and Irminsul was refashioned as a device that records and preserves all information. Since then, everything in this world has been inextricably linked to it. As the Dendro Archon, I have a duty to protect Irminsul. Teyvat has seen many upheavals in the last few years. The most recent of these was a major crisis in Notcry, which forced Sumeru to be even more vigilant than usual. I made sure to monitor all the pathways through which an outsider could potentially transmit themselves. I still believe that someone has actively invaded Irminsul. But rather than taking any of the pathways by entering Irminsul through death.
I see what you mean. You cannot simply stop all deceased souls from—
That's right. As important as it is to guard against external threats, I couldn't allow myself to stop the souls of—
Please, understand how difficult this predicament—
Defense has never been an easy task.
After Irminsul was invaded, my authority was quickly—
I'm sure you feel responsible, but you are not to blame. No one can predict every possible disaster.
But the people of Sumeru should not have to endure this. We must find a way to break through the lockdown and connect to Irminsul.
And this is why you—
Yes. The only thing in Sumeru capable of rivaling Irminsul in terms of overall— All I managed to do before falling into a coma was make some minor adjustments to Irminsul. The Scholar's initial plan was to borrow Aru's power to reboot the Akasha, then use the Akasha to connect to Irminsul and investigate. Unfortunately, Irminsul has suffered far greater damage than they first thought. To rise to the challenge, we had to resort to a more extreme. To reclaim Irminsul, our brightest scholars have made further modifications to Aru with multiple goals in mind. I thank you all for giving them your blessing in this endeavor.
Human wisdom has clearly improved over the millennia. You have not only our—
Together, we will do everything in our power to save Irminsul.
By the way, when you spoke earlier of an intruder, it all—
Well...
Master Tainari! What is that?
Is this... Ermin? How did this happen? What's going on inside?
Luckily, we managed to evacuate everyone.
What in the world was that? That was terrifying!
Oh my. I understand now, Dendro Archon. You make yourself quite clear indeed.
Not once over the millennia has Irminsul been so terribly afflicted.
Please continue, Dendro Archon.
Irminsul's root system is what comprises the ley lines. In the past, it has always been hidden away, going unseen by the general populace. But now, an evil intruder is making it reveal itself. It has become a tree of unbridled greed. A clear sign that a deranged experiment has advanced to a new stage.
Blasphemy. From where I stand, an experiment in the name of blasphemy sounds rather improper. But, if we are to honor Dottores' will...
The birth of this tree proves to me beyond doubt that this incident is connected. But to explain the situation in full...
Zandik. So it was him. I saw him in the desert once. A man of supreme arrogance. So this is where it has taken him.
But didn't Dottore die and not cry? How is he still able to do all of it?
He must still have loyal followers amongst the Fatui. Even so, I'm still unclear as to how he has been able to wield such a profound influence over Earth.
I can confirm that Fatui forces have arrived in Sumeru City. Furthermore, Irminsul seems to be undergoing some kind of mutation. Evil branches are beginning to grow. Things that do not belong to this world are slowly but surely materializing. Sorry. I couldn't think of any other word to describe it. They don't seem to be fully formed physical entities yet, after all.
A baleful tree climbing up into the heavens.
Speaking of Dottore, I have some information on that front as well. I didn't think it was wise to state this out in the open. But my theory is, the mole wasn't cut off after he was caught.
You mean... the Fatui never intended to follow through with him? Then why plant a mole at all?
It's hardly a conventional strategy, and the rationale behind it is pretty twisted. But as it happens, I know someone who works exactly this way. And when it comes down to it, his goals are very simple. He just wants to confuse people, so they can't figure out what he's up to. He's been a collaborator of Dottore's from the outset. That fact alone confirms that Dottore is involved with this somehow.
There is still much to be done. Everyone, please remember our core strategy.
As per the discussions, the following groups must act immediately. Mr. Alhaitham and Mr. Kave, the next phase of the Aru renovation project must begin right away. Godspeed to you both.
We'll give it everything we've got.
The plan looks feasible, but the implementation will require...
General Mahamatra Sino and his team will help to procure the materials required for modifying the terminal.
No problem. I've already spoken with Sethos and Hat Guy, and they've agreed to assist me.
This kind of thing is best left to the fleet-footed, right? Hat Guy?
If it's efficiency you're after, we're the right people for the job.
Following up on the elemental energy amplifier we discussed, Ms. Dory, I assume you're the one most familiar with the status of this project. Aside from the Dendro Archon, of course.
Yep, that's right. Leave it to Lord Sangama Bay.
Got it. Well, I'd like Madame Farazan, Kale, and Nicole to support Dory on the technical side.
You can count on us. Will do.
Rest assured, I'll take good care of Kale.
Dia, Candace, and Nefer, You'll be in charge of negotiating between the various parties. I trust you remember our goal.
You bet. We can handle it.
Good. I believe that covers everything. Tighnari will provide ad hoc support as needed, if that's okay.
Poor Tighnari. Must be tough being Nephis' student. Getting bossed around all day.
Hey, don't try and drive a wedge between us, you old rascal.
All it says to me is that Master Nephis has faith in everyone's abilities. While I'm nominally here as backup, I doubt there will be many situations where my help is needed.
Exactly.
Finally, Traveler, you and I will head to the border between Sumeru and Natlan. Once that task is complete, I'll be asking some of you to accompany me to the Eternal Oasis.
The Eternal Oasis? I thought that was...
Regarding your trip to Natlan, under normal circumstances, a meeting between our two nations would be a far more formal affair. Unfortunately, Sumeru is all but completely cut off from the outside world, so regretfully, we won't be able to give the Pyro Archon Mawika the...
No point putting too much pressure on yourselves. That goes for everyone.
Right. Especially you, Dendro Archon.
Don't worry about me. The Dendro Dragon's life force will sustain me.
Plus, we'll be there every step of the way. Nahida will be just fine.
Yes. I believe in myself. And I believe in every one of you. Well, time to get going.
To what extent we can implement the final plan depends on how successfully the Akasha can be modified and configured. And to make sure the configuration works, Aru will also need some further optimization.
Yeah, no surprises there.
Once we roll this out, any Sumeru citizens who already have Akasha terminals can simply continue to use their existing devices. This still leaves us with a significant equipment shortage, though. Many groups of people were never issued Akasha terminals, including mercenaries, the desert folk, and many others.
We'll need a supply of rare materials for the renovation of Aru and the production of new terminals. Right now, the best place to source these locally is from the primal constructs within King Deshret's mausoleum. Time is not on our side here. It's gonna be a race against the clock.
The Aru merge and renovation project will have to be carried out by you two. Everything's riding on this, so failure is not an option. Best of luck to you both. As discussed, General Mahamatra Sino and Mr. Hatguy will source the required material. Mr. Sethos is quite familiar with the layout of King Deshret's mausoleum. With him accompanying them, things should go quite smoothly.
I have every confidence. In the meantime, we may as well take a breather.
Makes sense. There's not much we can do until the materials are...
Get information and stay close.
What is this, boot camp? Knock it off.
It's just Sino being Sino. You know what he's like.
Everyone clear on our mission objective. Look at the excess primal constructs, dismantle them, and extract the required material.
And King Deshret's 7 pillars agreed to this?
If they're just sitting there doing nothing, we might as well put them to use. Thoth's words, not mine.